Hi everyone, I'm Ken Verderami, and welcome to another edition of the Ultimate Steel Shooter, where we talk about all things and only things Steel Challenge. All right guys, welcome back to the channel today. A couple of housekeeping things before we jump into today's topic. Number one, of course, please, if you haven't already done so, subscribe. If you like this content, like the video and comment and share with me. It's really, really important to help the channel grow to do those kind of things. I know I keep saying that every video, but it is, right? I mean, if you look at I can see the analytics for the channel, and it still shows about over 60% of the people who watch the videos every week are still not subscribed. And subscriptions are how the channel grows because it pushes the channel to the higher up on when people search on this kind of topic, when they're looking for podcasts, and it just makes it more visible. So I know some people are concerned that they don't want to get notifications, all other kind of stuff when they subscribe, but you can go into the settings after you subscribe and you can change all that and simply be a subscriber and be completely transparent and anonymous, and that will still help the channel grow. So if you haven't already done so, please consider subscribing. Okay, so before we again get into today's main topic, I want to provide a correction to last week's video about rules updates. We got a bunch of comments and some back and forth about is it true, is it not true, and they all centered on the question of inside the waistband holders legal or not legal for steel challenge. I said they were now legal. That's not true. They're legal in USPSA, okay, but they're not legal in steel challenge because of the nature of steel challenge. So just to be clear, inside the waistband holsters are still not legal in steel challenge. However, for production single stack, you can now, right, and carry optics, you can still move your holster and your magazines, if you carry them on your belt, to any position on the belt, not behind the hip like has been required before. So that is true, but you can't use inside the waistband holders. And the reason is, the issue is, right, you'll see there's this FBI cant a lot of times on inside the waistband holders where it actually points the gun behind vertical, which makes you break in the 180, and so that is one of the reasons that they don't let it. But anyway, just wanted to clear that up to make sure everybody's on the same page here. Okay, so let's get into it. I'm going to start for the next bunch of weeks here a new series of videos about individual stages. What I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about the kinds of strategies you should be thinking about when shooting that stage, and then also we'll talk about specific training techniques that you should be thinking about if you want to improve your ability on that individual stage, right? If you're familiar with my training methods, I'd like to break it into fundamental shooting training and then what I call more advanced steel challenge training. Well, that's this stage specific kind of stuff. That doesn't mean the fundamental stuff isn't important. I still think that is the most important thing. You need to master that first. But a lot of people ask about excuse me, stage specific stuff. So we're going to start with that. And I'll probably intersperse some fundamental shooting training as well, and not just simply go through stage after stage after stage for 8 weeks in a row. All right, so first stage we're going to talk about, probably already seen that, right? That's 5 to go. That's what 5 to go looks like. If you're curious, that is one of my training banners. And if it looks a little odd for you, looks kind of a little small than you might have expected it, the reason for that is this is one of the 3 banners that I offer where you train at only 5 feet distance, not 10 feet distance. And so because the distance is half, the actual targets are going to appear smaller, but trust me, they are representative of exactly the same target area if you get on the stage and are shooting at the actual distances. So let's talk about strategy first with 5 to go. 5 to go is one of those stages that a lot of shooters, for some reason, consider more difficult than not. And part of it is it's all 10-inch plates, except for the stop plate, and that kind of intimidates a lot of shooters, but you shouldn't let that bother you. The plates are relatively close, right? 10, 12, 14 or 15 and 18, and then the 7-yard stop plate, right? So even though they're only 10 inches, the distances are not that difficult. And this is one of the most important things about this stage, is that this is the only stage in Steel Challenge where you can pick a shooting order and there's no reversal transition. That's a huge deal in this sport, because every other stage requires what I have coined the term reversal transition, where you have to get to a plate. You literally, no matter what you're doing, you have to stop on that plate and you got to reverse your direction to finish the stage. 5 to go, you don't need to do that, okay? So, basic strategy, most of these stages, or the other stages, there are options, depending on your skill level, that you can shoot the stage in a different shooting order until your skills get to the point where you can exploit shooting what is probably a better stage order. 5 to go is not one of them. There's really only one way to shoot this stage, and that is you start with plate number 1. Okay, remember my numbering system, the left hand, the farthest plate that you see standing in the shooting box, not looking at a picture in the rule book, because that's deceiving, right? Farthest left-hand plate that you see standing in the box is always plate number 1, and then it goes 2, 3, 4, 5, with 5 always being the farthest right-hand plate that you can see, and then wherever the stop plate is, you simply substitute stop instead of the number, okay? So the shooting order for 5 to go is simply 1, 2, 3, 4, stop. That's it, okay? Some people ask, well, I've seen people, actually I saw the entire super squad at Nationals several years ago shoot the stage 4, 3, 2, 1, stop. Every single one of them did that way, and I started scratching my head going, what do they know that I don't? And started analyzing it, and turns out that that's still not really an effective way to do it, even at their level. And since that time, I've never seen anybody go back and shoot it. They all go back and shoot 1, 2, 3, 4, stop. Okay? And part of the reason for that is if you go 4, 3, 2, 1, you've now introduced a reversal transition, and not a short one, right? You've got a long transition. That's one of the longest transitions in the entire sport. Why would you add that complexity to yourself, right? And the reversal transition is going to the stop plate. So if you make a mistake on that reversal transition, you could eat a miss, and you might not even realize it and stop and take a 30-second, right? You could take an entire 30-second penalty because you missed the stop plate. So do yourself a favor and just shoot the stage 1, 2, 3, 4, stop, left to right, okay? The first target, right, is a 10-yard target. So you should be able to be very aggressive on that target because it's a very easy thing to do off the draw. One of the things you want to do is foot position inside the box. This is one of the stages where it benefits you to stand in a different position. Don't just stand in the middle of the box. I would stand, if you're a right-hand shooter, actually even if you're a left-hand shooter, I would stand in the upper right-hand corner of the box, as far right as you can get. And the reason for that is that makes the transition from plate 4 to the stop the shortest possible, which is what you want to do coming off the most difficult relative plate in the stage. It's true that if you do that, your draw to the first target will be relatively a little more complex, because now you got to twist your upper body more to be positioned to looking at that. But that's okay, because it's only a 10-yard target and it's still pretty easy to do, so you can add that slight complexity, not make a big deal about it. Also remember, it's important whenever possible to go from coiled to uncoiling your body, if you're a right-handed shooter, as you're shooting the stage, right? And so if you start left, you've coiled, and then you're going to unload as you finish, right? You're right-handed, that's just easier to do. You're able to make faster, smoother transitions to do that. It just feels more natural, and so whenever you can, you want to do that as well. Probably the most important thing I can tell you about how to shoot this stage effectively is pace. The one thing that gets people in trouble with anything else on 5 to go is they try to speed up or slow down as they go through this, and it gets them in all sorts of trouble. Most notably, what they try to do is speed up to get to the stop plate because they think they've taken too much time previously. There's a perception that they're too slow, and it's a big transition, and so they want to speed up, right? So what you'll see is a cadence something like this. Bang, 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 right? And they try to rush that, and all sorts of bad things happen. Maybe they miss plate 4, maybe they miss a stop plate, maybe they miss both, okay? And it just messes things up. So my advice is to shoot when you watch a top shooter shoot 5 to go, the cadence is pretty much the same. Bang, 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 bang. Okay, there's really no speeding up or slowing down. So you want to pick a cadence that you can kind of be constant and just shoot straight across. I know it's going to feel like you're slow. I know it will. Okay, I've been there when I was first starting to do this, but when you look at your times, you'll find out it's not slow. It really isn't. Okay, so really fight that perception and try to maintain a steady pace. So your transition times, whatever your transition times are from 1 to 2 and 2 to 3, figure those out at a comfortable pace, at your match pace, and then for your transitions from 3 to 4 and from 4 to stop should be about the same, okay? Don't try to make them faster or slower. Try to make them the same as your first 2 transitions. So if you have an aggressive draw to the first plate and then 2 to 3, 3 to 4, or 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4, and 4 to stop, those next 4 transitions should be about the same. You'll be fine, okay? And you'll find out that you'll be much steadier and you'll be much more consistent when you shoot the stage, okay? So let's talk real quick about training methods. The 2 things I would focus on if I was trying to get better at 5 to go is really working on your draw to the first plate. It's only 10 yards. There is no reason you can't have if you're a center fire shooter, a sub 1 second draw to plate number 1. No reason at all. It's only 10 yards, guys. Okay. And then if you're a rimfire shooter, you should be down in the 0.6, 0.5 range on that first one. Okay. You can be super aggressive. It's a really easy target, even if you're shooting a pistol. And if you're shooting a long gun, right? If you're shooting a rimfire rifle, man, you should really be 0.5 or less. Okay. You should really be able to push that. It's really a super easy target. And then the other thing I would work on is the transition from 4 to 5. Use my micro transition drills you'll find in my book and work on that last transition from 4 to the stop line. That's the one that gets people in the most trouble. Those are the 2 areas that if you figure out and master those sub techniques, the rest of the stage will flow really easy. So number 1, work on shooting at a consistent pace. Number 2, work on a very aggressive, very fast draw or first shot. And number 3, work on the transition from plate 4 to plate 5. If you work on those 3 individual skills and then put them together, I think you will see dramatic increases in your, dramatic drops in your time on this particular stage. Don't be afraid of 5 to go. It's a pretty cool stage and it's relatively easy because you just shoot simply straight across. All right, guys, I think that's it for 5 to go. Next week, we are going to talk about probably speed option, and we'll jump in to that one. A lot of stuff going on with that stage, so a lot of interesting things to help you get better. It's another stage that people struggle with, but there's some things you can do specifically and get much better at that. Okay, so remember, don't forget, check out our title sponsor, tandemcross.com. If you're into anything due to rimfire, please check out the link below and use that affiliate link to go there. If you're interested in my dry fire system, these banners for all 8 Steel Challenge stages, we've got USPSA training banners, USPSA official classifier stages, and the GSSF 3 official stages. So over 55 different banners to pick from. Check that out on the website, steelshootbanners.com, all one word. And then, of course, don't forget my 2 books, Do You Feel the Need for Speed? And The Game Within the Game, Mastering the Mental Game of Steel Challenge. There's the only 2 shooting books on the market dedicated 100% to the sport of Steel Challenge, and they're both available at Amazon Books. And of course, as always, remember, slowing down is never the right answer. Never. You need to learn It's a seat belt.
Ready. Bye.